you hear the storm last night? It woke me up. Didn't it wake you? It's been a long time since I've seen such a violent storm. It was impressive, don't you think? What is it that you're looking at? Please, come and sit down. Look, you ought to come and sit down. It's no use just standing there and waiting. I'm thinking that this was here since I was a child. It was, wasn't it? This chair. All in all, nothing much has changed in here. You know, I was going through your desk last night and I came across your diaries. I didn't know that you were writing, at least these last few months. But I don't know what to do with them. What would you have done if you were me? Anyway, there are these heaps and heaps of papers to sort out. I don't know how you found your way around because I feel compelled to tidy everything away. I can't bear mess. It upsets me. I don't know where I got that from because you and Mom are complete opposites, aren't you? Anyway, now all that needs to be organized. And that's what I'm here for. No, I didn't sleep much last night. And obviously it wasn't because of the storm. I mean, all this had disturbed me. And the very fact that I was sleeping in a childhood bedroom. I must have slept there for at least, I don't know, 10 years or even longer. At one point, when the storm had eased, I woke up to find myself here. There wasn't a sound. I wanted to get up, but I stayed. I was thinking about all the things that we said to each other last evening. You understand? We need to find a solution. I mean, of course, I'm fond of this house. It's a wonderful house. I don't deny it. We're all attached to it. But is it still? I mean, you can't live here all by yourself. If you have to buy a loaf of bread, you have to take the car. It's common sense, Dad. You can't live here on your own.
Croissants.
What?
I have croissants, not bread.
Yes, I know. All the same.
Bread and croissants, all the same?
No, obviously. Look, my point is that this house is isolated. When there were the two of you, it was still viable, but now I think it's about time we came up with something new. A different configuration maybe. Don't you think? With some things, you just need to know when to let go. You want me to get that?
I have croissants, not bread. It's quite simple, really. I have them with butter and jam, strawberry jam, if you must know.
All right, don't move. I'll go and see who it is.
I dumped them in my coffee. At one time, I also used to like apricot jam. But that's a bygone age. Time has passed. But who understands that these days? Who understands?
Ah, look. Flowers. Yet more flowers. But strange. There's no card with them. Do you know where the vases are kept? It's been 2 days and I'm still searching for vases. But nevertheless, they are beautiful. You used to love flowers. I remember peonies. They were your favorite. You used to get them for Mum quite often, and she used to love flowers as well, didn't she? But nevertheless, it's really strange not to send a card with the flowers. I mean, how do we know who sent them? Anyway, I was going through a walk yesterday and I came across this building. Do you know the building that I'm talking about? Sports Center or something. Right opposite Town Hall. It's really hideous, don't you think? I mean, I don't understand who has these. There's a vase. Good. So I was telling you that I went for a walk yesterday, and on my way back, I passed by an estate agent. Yes. And I walked in to have a word with the man. Charming fellow. I explained the situation to him. The situation, Dad, I explained it to him, and he suggested calling around to have a word with you and to understand what it might involve. You see, we've been talking about this for such a long time without doing anything about it. So since I'm here this weekend, I thought it might be a good idea to, don't you think? A good idea to make some concrete progress. Well, he suggested that he's going to come by tomorrow. Just for a visit, that is, if you agree, of course.
By the thumb.
What?
What you have denied me in grams, I will rip from you by the tongue.
But what are you saying, Dad?
I will build you cities out of piles of rags. Yes, I will. I will build you a structure that you can never destroy, which will be supported and inflated by a kind of overflowing undeniability. I will install for you proud and overpowering fortresses. Toll the bell! Toll the bell! Oblivion to the living!
What are you doing? Talking to yourself?
No. We were just talking about the house, and I was just arranging these flowers. They have just been delivered, but there's no card with them. I mean, who sends flowers without a card? It's really idiotic. But they are beautiful, don't you think?
I'm not in the mood for them. I've grown allergic to flowers. I find them sinister. And all my vases, I've thrown them all out.
Except this one?
I must have missed it.
Well, okay. I'll put it here. Or if you want, I'll take it away. It's really up to you, Mom. What? Have you been shopping? You could have told me. I would have come along with you.
No, you were asleep. I didn't want to wake you. And anyway, I had a lease. You don't need a whole regiment to go shopping.
I have to take this, sorry. I'll be back. I asked you not to call me anymore. Don't you
There
understand?
she goes. Anyway, I had this huge amount of papers to sort out.
I told you.
Yes.
Last night I woke up at 3 o'clock. The light was still on in the office.
I told you I was working till quite late last night.
I don't know why you insist on doing this.
Of course you know, Mom. His editor asked me to. Don't you remember? His editor wants to bring out an edition of his unfinished pieces. His diaries, sketches, poems, everything that he didn't publish. They think it's the best way to get inside his work, to understand it better. His editor's really keen on this. thinks about it as an homage. But if you're against all this, all that you have to do is to refuse.
I don't know. Seems to me a bit like digging up a corpse, don't you? And anyway, you're not going to finish it in one weekend.
Of course, I
You'll
know.
have to come back.
Yes, I'll come back because now, is that what's upsetting you?
No, except I was wondering, what would he have wanted? Would he have wanted people rummaging around in his papers?
What did you buy?
What?
You went shopping, didn't you? So what's in your shopping bag? What did you buy?
Mushrooms.
Ah, marvelous. Show me, show me. Ah, wonderful. You know, at one time, we never ate them. We preferred meat. I don't know what we were thinking, but now she's become a fantastic mushroom cook. My little scorcher. What are the ingredients? Tell us again.
Ah, nothing worth saying.
Nothing worth saying. Tell us all the same.
A bit of parsley,
A bit of parsley.
an onion,
An onion, that's right. One onion cut into very thin slices. One good onion.
salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper, obviously.
That's it.
That's it, you see. Wait, what about the chives?
Oh, of course, the chive.
Of course, the chives. Red, green, yellow, all three colors. Put into an omelette. An omelette. That's a speciality, my little scorcher.
Stop calling me that.
When are we eating?
But it's only 11 o'clock, Dad.
Is it? Is it only 11?
Are you hungry already?
Yes. Maybe. Aren't I?
But don't you think it's a bit too early for lunch?
It's all that talk about mushroom. Is it really only 11?
Yes, Dad.
But on what day?
Today, Dad.
Right. But I thought it was another day, unless...
You know, Mom, last night, while going through his diaries, I found out that he wrote quite a lot about you.
Are you surprised? Considering that we spent half a century together.
I know. But nevertheless, I was talking to Elise about it yesterday, and in some ways it surprised both of us.
What?
The fact that you stayed together for such a long time. It's not easy now. The ability to live with one another and love one another till the end.
Yes. How's it going with the end?
Well, it's complicated. And especially with Emma around,
Why?
it's really difficult. Well, she's supposed to take her exams this year, but she's not doing anything about it. She's skipping her classes, she's behaving in a really strange manner.
Little calm down, give it time.
I really hope so. I remember, he used to love these
What?
mushrooms.
There was a time he could even go and pick them. Don't you remember?
Did he?
Yes. He would love to go for walks. He said it made him think. And then when he returned, he'd go straight to the study and run. His best ideas came to him when he was walking. When we left Paris and settled in here, he took it into his head to go and pick mushrooms. He did it for a couple of years. He put on his hat and all that gear. I'd make fun of him. And then suddenly he stopped.
What?
The good mushrooms, they were found along the river. The path was dangerous and slippery. And suddenly, we heard about someone who disappeared. into the river. And you know your father wasn't the most courageous of men. For him, his obsession was only to write. And so the mushrooms.
I know. But, Mom, last night, when I was going through his diaries, I found out, but you said he never stopped writing. But what surprised me the most is to find out that he was still writing quite a lot even towards the end. Even towards the end, Mom. I mean, last night, just going through his diaries, his handwriting. It's been, I don't know.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm really sorry.
What's the matter with you?
No, Mom. I'm alright. It's just
Come
the
on.
onions.
Come on.
They lived on the other side of the hill. Armane, I mean. We knew his wife better, a friend of your mother's. Some people thought he had found some poisonous mushrooms. There are plenty of them around here and they can kill you. But then they would have found the body. So the path along the river was more likely. Except, years later, I ran into him in Paris, in a station. I was completely taken aback. I ran to him and I said, Armane, is that you? Then I saw his face, distorted with terror, gigantic terror. You must be mistaken, that's what he said to me, and then he ran fast. You think some people are dead, but that's not always the case. He was with a woman. I never told anyone. I kept it to myself, naturally. Everyone should be able to take their secrets with them, don't you agree?
I know you think she's hard, but things aren't easy for her now. Elise tells me she's in the middle of separating from Pierre. I'm not supposed to know. He's been seeing another woman for several months, younger of course. And with all that's going on here, things haven't been easy for her. Are you hungry? It won't be long. What are you looking at? The vegetable garden, we need to check it. The amount that came down last night, I hope there hasn't been too much damage. Who's going to look after it now? The vegetable garden? Are you listening to me, Anthony? The vegetable garden. Who's going to look after it now? What's the matter?
I don't know why you asked her to come and see us.
Who, Anna? I didn't ask her. She wanted to come and spend the weekend here.
Why?
Why do you think? To help you?
Help me do what? No, I don't like this meddling in other people's business. And it's the both of them. See, the other one is still there. Still out there on the phone.
No, they mean well.
Mean well.
Yes, they do.
You know what Anne just told me? She has made an appointment with an estate agent to come and see us here. Can you imagine? The least you can say is they're not wasting any time. And the excuse is they want to help me. See, you know me very well. I'm an old plant in an old pot. You can't uproot me. I'll manage very well on my own.
Manage. You, on your own. You don't even know how to cook yourself a meal.
I'll manage.
I'm trying to imagine you in the kitchen.
I know. I'll manage. I know. I can still see you here. Getting lunch ready. organizing our lives, organizing everything. Really, I can see you so strong. But that's not the reason they've come here trying to change everything without consulting. What, now they want to sell the house? On the pretext that to do the shopping you have to get in the car? No. Listen. What's going to become of me in all this? Where am I supposed to go?
You have to talk to them about it.
No, there is no point. One thing is very clear, I'm not leaving this house. I shan't move from here. Where are you going now?
I won't be a minute.
Where are you going?
To the vegetable garden.
No?
Yes, to look for some chives. I won't be a minute. Don't make that face. I'll be back.
Things weren't working between us. I mean, things were starting to get hostile and...
She'll be back soon, so don't worry.
Sorry?
She'll be back. What?
Who are you talking about?
Your mother. She'll be back soon, so don't worry.
Dad?
What? She's just gone out to fetch some chives. Yes. She puts them in with the mushroom, with the onions, and mixes them all up. She's got her own recipe. Yes. So she's gone out for...
Dad, I was talking to Paul.
Who?
Paul, not Daniel. He was before. I don't live with him anymore.
Just as you like.
I met a man I really love. His name is Paul.
I see.
And the good news is I'm going to introduce him to you. He's just said he's going to come down here.
Who?
Paul, he had meetings this weekend, but he has finally decided to cancel them. Yes.
Good.
He wanted to be with me. He cares about me, you see. And he doesn't want to leave me on my own. Considering the situation, Dad, I have explained it to him. He couldn't attend the funeral on Saturday. He would have loved to have been there with us, but he had some really important meetings. Some bit of his contract had to be settled just at that moment, and he was left with no choice. But you'll see him soon. That's the good news, isn't it?
But...
Isn't it? I'm really happy that I'm going to introduce him to you. I mean, I've told him a lot about you, and he's happy that he's going to meet you. And he's the one who put me in touch with the Blue House.
The Blue House? What is that?
Yes, well,
There you are. What is this about the Blue House?
What?
The Blue House. I think you are trying to hide something from me, and I don't like it.
No, we are not. Whatever will you think of next? By the way, I forgot to tell you, I met a friend of yours in the market.
Who?
Mrs. Schwartz.
Mrs. Who?
Schwartz, something like that.
Never heard of her.
Well, Mrs. Schwartz came up to me in the street to talk to me about you. She said that you knew each other very well, that you knew each other long ago. She was with her son. She's come here for a couple of days. She wanted to find out how you were.
Me?
Yes.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Your friend,
What friend?
Schwartz.
are you talking about the woman you were talking to in the market right now in the morning? Brown hair.
Yes.
She was strange, don't you think?
Well, she wanted to come and say hello to you.
To me?
Yes. According to her, you were in the same little group when you were in Paris. That was her exact expression. Same little group.
Don't tell me you suggested she come round.
I thought you'd be pleased.
What? No. I don't know who this woman is or what she wants.
Well, I just asked her over for tea.
Tea?
Yes.
Are you joking, man?
Today.
I mean, she's coming here?
Yes, is that a problem with you?
See, I don't know who this woman is or who you're talking about. You're saying a name I don't recognize, a German name. Listen, we are not going through all that again, okay? All these stories, I have got nothing to do with this.
What are we talking about?
You must cancel it, okay? Have you given her the address?
She knew it already, I told you, from the way she spoke. You were very close.
No. You tell her that I'm not here. I'm not to be seen. That she's too late. Maybe I'm sick. Whatever you want.
If that's what you want.
Yes.
I thought you'd be pleased.
No. No.
Why are you getting yourself into this state?
See, you. I don't know who this woman is. She's lying. I don't know what she wants.
Well, if a friend of mine were to surface, I'd be very happy to have a cup of tea with her.
Well, I wouldn't.
Find out what had become of her.
No, I said. You understand?
Don't use that tone.
I wonder who could have sent these flowers.
How does it matter?
The car must have fallen out.
He would have hated it.
Who?
He would have found it ridiculous, all these flowers. And did you see all those people in the street coming up to talk to me about it?
It's natural. People admired him a lot.
Maybe. But this endlessly talking to me about him, I find it more ridiculous than these flowers.
All the same, for the woman you were saying, she...
Yes, she was different. There was something about her, don't you agree? Why did you say that you found her strange?
Just an impression. I mean, I didn't speak to her. I was on the phone with Paul. And I didn't even hear what you were saying to each other.
She knew him well. When they were young, at the time of their first successes.
No.
I'm looking forward to talking to her.
No.
I understand.
But I don't understand. I don't understand any of it. I'm here.
I'm off to get lunch ready.
Sure, can I help you?
No. I'll deal with it.
Just as you like.
And if the weather holds, we eat outside.
Good idea.
I'm here. Here's the chair. I can still sit in it. The flowers, I can still smell them. There's the door. There's the window. And me. I'm here. Listen to me. I'm here. You can see me, right? I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
He was an exceptional man. I've thought of him through all these years. I read his books. They were shattering. I could often see the young man that I had once known. Then suddenly today, I heard someone say your name in the market. And I said to myself, that's her. And I came up to you with no clear idea of what I might say to you. You have 2 daughters. Is that right?
Yes, Anne and Elise. And you?
Asad. You saw him?
Yes.
I brought him up all of my own. You know?
Not so long ago. He cut out an article from the newspapers. An article which had caught his interest. Maybe you heard about it. It happened about 3 years ago. It was a story of an elderly couple who had hooked themselves into a sweet Paris. Does that ring a bell?
I don't know.
It was the same hotel where they had been married decades earlier. That evening they went down for dinner and then retired for the night, asking not to be disturbed. The next morning the maid found them sprawled out on the bed, fully clothed. They'd eaten something, the newspapers said. They were not breathing.
Do you mean they'd committed suicide?
Both of them were old. One of them was ill. They had nothing much to look forward to. Retirement homes, nursing homes, and the like. They didn't want that. They didn't want to be a burden on their children. So they decided to leave in dignity in each other's arms.
That's so creepy.
That's how I reacted when I first read the article. But now I'm wondering if
what?
how shall I put it? His greatest fear was that I would die before him. He couldn't bear that. He couldn't manage on his own. I don't see that as any particular credit to myself. It was just the way it was. He couldn't do the smallest things, anything concrete. He would sometimes talk about it. It would have been a nightmare for him. A real nightmare.
So in some ways,
Yes, it's a consolation. He made me promise to outlive him, not to go before him. And I'm not that sort of person who doesn't keep her promises. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm bothering you with all this. Instead, why don't you tell me? I haven't quite worked out when you met each other. You seem so much younger than me. That's my other daughter.
Ah, hello.
And Mrs. Schwartz, a childhood friend of your father's.
Ah, it's a pleasure.
not exactly a childhood friend. We came from the same part of the world. So when I had gone to study in Paris, we had a few mutual friends, George in particular.
George?
I won't deny we did have a relationship together for many years.
You what?
You had a relationship with who?
Andre's friend, George Dillon. Name doesn't mean anything. I was always around. I was fascinated by them. They had started this literary magazine together, but all that so long ago, a century ago.
When I met your father, he didn't tell me anything about his life. One had to nag him to make him answer questions. He was a very secretive man.
Yes, I know.
Would you like a cup of tea?
No, I think I'd better get back to work.
Anne is here to sort through Andre's papers.
Oh, yes?
Yes, he kept a sort of private diary, which he didn't publish, but his editor knew about it. And he's asked Anne to sort these papers out. That's why she's here,
That's not the only reason, Mom.
isn't it?
You know very well, Mom. We came to be with you.
And have you read these diaries?
Well, I just started. You see, they're not always very legible.
I imagine that must be quite unsettling, isn't it? The image you construct of someone is bound to be invented, and then suddenly you find out the truth. There's always something scandalous about the truth, don't you think?
Is he still asleep?
No, I think I heard him.
Could you go and find out? Tell him that his friend has arrived.
Never mind, I'll go.
No, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
He has a siesta every day at the same time. Oh. Yes, he's done it for years. But I thought he would have woken up earlier.
It's all right, I'm not in such a hurry.
As I told you, he has moments of brilliant insights, epiphanies, coherence, followed by incoherence, fog, confusion. But I'm sure he'll be happy to talk to you, to recall the past.
Anyway, when we had told you that we had run into you this morning in the market, he seemed happy. I mean, at the idea of seeing you again, didn't he?
Me too. To me, he's the greatest writer of his generation. But he's wonderful.
Yes.
So now, then what about your family? I mean your brother, your...
Yes, my brother, he had these kind of problems with his memory, you know. But we didn't find out about it until very late on. But his wife did everything possible to stop people from realizing.
Oh, she did?
She did. Moreover, she was so much younger than him. She was stronger. Nobody was expecting her to go first. But one fine day, she just dropped dead, quite simply.
So,
It was very, very strange.
so what did you do?
We had to put her in a nursing home.
Oh, it must be very painful, I'm sure.
All the more so because she was so much younger, she was so lively, and it's very strange. She would even, you know, stay ahead of the conversation, take possession of the field, answer for him. So, you know, it was very difficult. So we didn't realize until she died how ill he was.
Okay. And now, wasn't everything, like, I mean, did everything go well? At the end,
It was very, very strange. It was very extremely painful.
You mean she dropped dead?
She did. Quite simply.
Dropped dead doing gardening? Do you mean in the vegetable garden?
Dad, you're awake. Come and have some tea with us. We've been waiting for you.
Andre, how are you?
Me?
After so many years.
That's nice, but
I told you I met your friend in the market.
oh, did you? Did you?
Yes, and I asked her to come for tea.
Okay.
How wonderful to see you again after so long. I've often thought about you, you know.
That's very nice, but
After all these years.
yes, yes, right, right. That is right, isn't it? Yes, that's right. That's right, 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 right. Yes, 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 yes.
Mrs. Schwartz is passing by the area. I thought you'd be pleased to see one another. As I understand it, you were friends when you were children.
As I was telling you, we were part of the same little group. Way back then, George and Andre were inseparable. He had published his first novel. Everyone admired him. He was already famous, but you couldn't say we were especially intimate.
But I thought you just said...
Oh, well, later, yes, we did have a, let's say, special relationship.
Special?
I think that's the right word, special.
I don't know.
I remember it as if it were yesterday. We had gone on holiday to a friend's house called Laura. Remember?
Loro? Loro Marino?
I'd forgotten his surname.
It was Marino. A charming fellow. His father had made some kind of dubious fortune, hadn't he?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Arms dealer, was he?
Oh, really?
Drug trafficker?
Um,
Big breeder?
I thought he was a journalist.
Ah, journalist, yes, that's right.
Anyway, we had gone down to Corsica by the water.
Yes. I remember the sea. It was blue and flat.
Everyone had spent the day on the beach, except him. He was writing. He stayed in the house. He never stopped writing. But one fine day, inadvertently, I happened to come back from the beach ahead of the others. And I went into the library to find him crying. He was crying like a desperate child. It was shattering to see somebody cry like that. How can I explain? I didn't know what to do. Without understanding anything, I went up to him and I kissed him. I kissed him.
You...
And then we made love. From then on, you could say we did have a powerful relationship. He said I was the only one who knew how to console him. It lasted many years, even after he was married. Well, I think I can now tell you, but such details are not so important anymore, don't you think? I was always at his side. He made me read what he wrote. He claimed he needed my opinion to be able to continue to write. He said I was the woman in his life. The woman in his life. He never stopped saying it, but I think he only said it out of kindness.
Who are you talking about?
George Dillon, Andre's friend. You remember you started that literary magazine together?
Dad. Now, do you remember George Dillon?
Who?
Sadly, he never had a career like yours. He died in a car accident. What a real disaster.
I think you're making a mistake. Who are you talking about? Who exactly are we talking about?
Who do you think? For years on end, I told him to acknowledge his son, but he was never courageous about it. He was married, he had children. Classic situation, really.
I don't understand anything about this story.
He always used to say, you'll be able to claim your share when I'm dead. You will be able to sort it out when I'm dead. That was his big expression.
Who said that?
Well, I said nothing. I waited and I brought him up all on my own. But such stories, they need to be resolved one day. Don't you agree? The fact that the father does not acknowledge his son does not alter the fact that the son does have a father. And I say so with no inheritance considerations, but just so that everything between us can be out in the open.
Who is she talking about? Andre!
Dad!
Fragments. False starts, nothing much else. You lean back on your life like you would lean back against a solid rock. What's the weight of it today? It's nothing. I may as well forget about it. There is no grip. That is the problem.
What's he saying?
I had a life, I don't deny it. But what's left of it? A few faces, a few names here and there lost in the fog. May as well forget everything. Why did she leave like that?
Dad, I am finding this conversation a bit incoherent.
You think so? Well, I think it's absolutely all over the place.
It seems we're talking about something completely different from where we had started out.
Why did she leave like that? Did I say something?
Dad,
Your mother.
Dad, I would like you to try to understand why we are taking this step.
I know you told me already.
No, you don't know.
Don't worry. It's just normal for him to react like this.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it takes time for everyone to adapt to a new situation.
But the way it happened, it was so sudden.
I understand.
We weren't prepared for it. He wasn't, neither were we.
I know.
She was full of energy, so alive.
You know, I always knew that my phone is going to ring one day and I'm going to get this sort of news. Bad news. I was almost prepared for it, but I never expected this.
I didn't either. And it has to be said, she was so younger than him. She was so strong, so present.
But nothing can be done about it now. I mean, all that we can do is to accept the situation and move ahead with it, no matter how painful. That goes without saying. That's the reason, Dad.
Mrs. Armani was saying that her brother isn't that true?
Yes. My brother, he lost his wife as well a couple of years ago, which was very painful.
And when she'd gone?
We had to put him in a nursing home.
So that he wouldn't be all by himself.
Yes, and find him an arrangement, quite.
And that's why you heard us talking about the blue house.
Yes, he moved in there. It was very, very pleasant. There was a nice little room with a view of the park.
Oh, hear that, Dad? There's a park.
He could go for a walk also on his own with the other residents if he felt like it.
And, I saw there's a lake there as well, isn't there?
Yes, there is a lake with ducks. It's beautiful over there. In fact, whenever I went to visit him, he was always sitting on the same bench, feeding the ducks with little bits of bread. That's what he did till the end, they say.
Dad, we've thought a lot about this. And the reason that we are telling this to you now is because we want you to understand that this really is the best solution for you. But we also wanted Mrs. Armani to come over here and speak to you about it herself.
It'll suit you very well, Auntie, believe me.
And you'll be really happy there, Dad.
Dad, Anna's right. Everything will be fine.
And to fly away.
What?
The ducks, in the end, they do fly away. And then it's the vulture's turn. You can see them wheeling above your head. And vultures feast in broad daylight.
Dad, what are you doing? What are you searching for?
Some sense.
Dad.
We will break through this darkness with daylight. We will find the door. Because there must be one, mustn't there? There must be some sense to all this, isn't there? Isn't there? Where is she?
Are you still angry with me? Are you still annoyed?
No.
Anyways, I'm glad you're here.
Are you?
Yes, really. That you were able to meet him. That you're with me. It was really very important for me that you came out here.
What you're talking about? Everything is as it should be.
Would you like another coffee? When do you have to be back in Paris? No, isn't that right? Well, we'll have to leave in an hour if you don't want to be late.
Fine. But you can always stay.
No. I want to be with you.
Really?
I would just like to drop by the cemetery on our way, if it doesn't inconvenience you.
No?
Just to drop by. It won't take much time.
Of course. No problem.
You know, honestly, at first, I was a bit scared about how he would react.
Your dad?
Yes. It's been a long time since I have seen him, quite a few weeks. I hadn't realized things had... for example, yesterday, I had made a mistake of inviting a family friend for tea. He didn't even recognize her.
Yes, you told me.
It was so strange. I could see it in his eyes. He was lost. Everything in his head was messed up. And That's why I was a bit nervous about how he would react to you.
But in the end, as you saw, everything turned out well.
Yes, very well. He was charming, don't you think? You wouldn't imagine the kind of person he was. He had a different kind of strength. Everyone admired him. And it has to be said, whatever he had achieved, he owed it to my mother. She was always there, backing him up. Her going was enough for everything to collapse. And for him to even lose his bearings.
Come on. Come on.
And my sister? What did you think of her?
Very nice.
No, seriously, tell me. You see what I mean? She was always like that. So serious. When I was a child, I was jealous of her.
You?
Yes. I had terrible complexes. Because, how do I put it? I wasn't like them. I was always interested in other things. Less important, no doubt. But she always wanted to write. Yes, that's what she wanted to do with her life. She was very ambitious. But in the end, as you see, she did nothing.
Why not?
I don't know. Perhaps it was difficult to get past Dad. She always had a complicated relationship with him. At the same time, she resented him. I don't know what for.
Are you talking about me?
Are you up already?
What were you just saying?
Nothing. I was saying to Paul that how you were always Dad's favorite. Why are you looking at me like that? It's true, isn't it?
Now stop talking nonsense. Is he up?
I don't know.
Did you sleep well?
Very well. It's so calm, this house.
Anybody want a cup of coffee?
Thank you, no.
We've already had breakfast. As you know, we don't have much time.
What? Are you planning to leave this morning?
Yes, Paul has to be in Paris by noon. You know, we would have loved to have stayed here longer, but
Yes, it's an important meeting. I'm really very sorry.
we thought we would like to drop by the cemetery on our way. If you would like to come with us, or maybe you would like us to drive you back to Paris. We have room in the car.
And what about him?
What?
Are you planning to leave him here all by himself?
Why are you talking to me in that tone?
What tone?
That tone! That reproachful tone, as if I was abandoning him!
I didn't say that.
You suggested it,
Not at all.
as if I felt no concern about the situation.
And do you feel any concern?
See, I don't know what you're... Of course I feel concerned. I just hadn't imagined. How can you imagine I'm not?
It seems as if you have just been aware of his condition.
I was just saying to Paul that it had unsettled me seeing him like that yesterday. I hadn't imagined it was so advanced, okay?
I must say it's been a long time since you've been to see them.
In any case, Paul spoke to the woman who runs it on the phone.
Yes.
And she suggests we go and visit the place next Thursday.
Yes. You told me.
Then why are you asking if I feel concerned? He surely liked the park since he's so fond of walking, don't you think? Ah, Dad.
Dad, you're up already. Did you sleep well?
Come on, have and sit down. I'll fix your croissants.
Is it morning?
Yes, Dad.
Where is your mother? Is she not here? Has she gone shopping? Or is she in the vegetable garden? You know, she didn't wake me this morning and I hate to be the last one up.
Come on. Come and sit down. You remember Paul?
Yes. Yes. How is it going?
The what?
The driving school?
Sorry?
No, Dad, you're getting confused. Paul doesn't work in a driving school. He's an estate agent.
Ah, you are the one. Is he the one? Is he?
Dad, you know Elise planned to leave this morning. But because They must go. You know, Paul has some important work meeting. They would have loved to stay a bit long. But,
Yes, it's a viewing. I know it's a Sunday, but my clients couldn't spare any other day. I'm really very sorry.
But you are an estate agent,
Yes,
and my daughter asked you to come?
Yes.
Dad, Elise was saying that she's leaving today, before lunch. Well, but you will be able to see her again very soon on Thursday. Isn't that right?
Yes, Thursday. I'll be back and we'll spend the whole day together. And we'll go for a walk in a park.
But this estate agent business, I don't want to sell the house.
But nobody said anything about selling the house, Dad.
But you told me this morning.
No, I didn't. Now, please don't start with all that again.
But you told me.
I never said that.
I'm sorry, but you told me.
What? I mean, nobody has any intention of selling the house, Dad. Why would we want to sell it?
Good. I'll go unpack my things.
What, you had your breakfast already?
Yes, thanks. I'll be back.
Can I have a word with you for a second?
Yes, if you like.
Just a second. I'll be back.
it is a very beautiful house. I'm sure you wouldn't have any trouble finding a purchaser if you do decide to sell. You know? Such marvelous proportions and a through light. Don't you agree? You must agree with me on this subject at any rate.
Yes. Maybe I don't.
You don't have any opinion on the matter?
No.
No, you surely must have some sort of position on this.
No.
You don't agree with me. Is that it? Now come on, be honest. Out with it.
No.
Sorry. Oh, it's my associate. I really must take this call. I'm really very sorry. Hello? No, I'm still here. Yes, don't worry. I'm in control of the situation. Absolutely in control.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Where is your mother?
Please, Dad. She must be in the vegetable garden. I don't know. Don't you remember anything? Well, relax. Just sit down. I think I'll get you something really refreshing. Just don't move. It'll take a second. I'm almost there, Dad. Here. I'm putting your cup of coffee over here. It's really hot.
But I don't want coffee.
It's your breakfast, Dad.
Is it morning?
Yes.
Then where are my croissants?
They're here.
With
Strawberry jam? Yes.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Are they the way you like them?
Yes.
Good. Dad,
Yes.
you know, I wanted to talk to you about,
Yes.
I don't know how to put it, but your editor asked me to sort out your papers. Do you remember? A long time ago, you had mentioned to him about some sort of private diary. And I found it and I read it.
What?
Your diary, Dad. I read it last night. I don't know if it's all true, but I wanted to talk to you about it. The story about that woman, the German woman.
No, he's completely harmless. We practically have the thing in the bag. We'll be able to exchange in no time. Yes.
I would have never believed that. As far as I'm concerned, you've always been a model. I mean, you and Mom, the model of love. But in the end, it's the same story. It's really ugly the way stories all turn out to be the same. Even yours. Even yours, Dad.
What?
And what's the story about George Dulot?
you know, as time goes by, your attitude towards certain things changes. What used to seem very important becomes insignificant, like an anecdote, soap bubbles. You change your perspective, you learn to forgive.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ask the lawyer to be on standby, okay? Yes, the agreement still stands. And he'll get his share. Oh, yes, he'll get his share.
Anyway, about this diary of yours,
Yes?
you couldn't publish it then. That much I understand. Because of Mom.
Yes.
You didn't want to hurt her.
Who? Your mother?
Yes. I mean, all that I understand, but what about now? You see, I can't do anything without your agreement. What would you like me to do?
Last night. Did you hear the storm?
Last night? No. It was the night before.
No, it was last night. I didn't sleep very well. I had this strange dream. It was very frightening. Everything felt precarious, crumbling, like walking across an abyss.
An abyss.
Yes, it was very frightening. But then I woke up. Luckily I woke up. Imagine a dream you never wake up from. That would be a real nightmare. Ah,
Here I am.
There you are. Where have you been? I've been looking for you all morning.
I went shopping
Ah,
for lunch.
hmm.
Did you sleep well?
No, that's what I was explaining to Anne.
Oh, must have been because of the storm.
Yes, I'm sure.
I must go. I'll keep you posted. Sorry.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Did you sleep well?
Very well, thank you.
You know, Mom, they're not staying over for lunch.
Oh, how come?
They must go.
Yes, it's an important meeting.
Are you sure you don't want to leave after lunch?
I'd have loved to do that, but I really can't postpone this appointment. It's so important, you see.
Oh.
I'm really very sorry.
What a pity.
I know.
All the more for us.
What did
Yes.
you buy
Mushrooms?
for lunch?
Yes.
Wonderful. Show me. Marvelous. You know, at one time we never ate them. We preferred meat. I don't know what we were thinking.
Maybe I'll go and give her a hand. Elise.
Ah, okay.
I'll help her pack, otherwise we're going to be late. See you.
What did you think of him?
Oh, Dad. Well, I don't know. I think he was kind of nice. Don't you think so?
Well, your sister seems to find something in here. I wonder where she picks them up.
On the other hand, I don't think Dad knows too well.
Who?
Dad?
You're not going to start all that again.
Start what?
You know very well. Have you finished? You haven't eaten anything.
Not hungry.
That's what you say. And then within the hour you'll come and tell me you're hungry and you will start snacking.
I was just giving you my opinion, Mom.
I don't care about your opinion.
Why are you reacting like this?
Because I can manage very well on my own. I don't need your advice.
But all that I was saying is that Elise and I were really disturbed to find out that things aren't working out too well with you.
And what? Is that why the both of you came this weekend? To run an inspection?
We were worried, Mom, that's all. And we thought it might be a burden for you too. To be over here with him all on your own.
I just told you. We can manage very well on our own.
But I think you ought to.
Ought to? Did I ask for your opinion? What's going on here? You come and visit us for a couple of days, and now you're experts on the way we should be leading our lives? I know what you're cooking up. What do you think? You think I was born yesterday?
Please, Mom. All that I'm saying is that there might be other solutions.
What are they? Tell me. You want your dad to live with you? That's what I thought. Then what do you want to do? You want to put him in a nursing home? You should say things clearly. You want to get rid of him? Is that what you want?
But why are you getting annoyed?
I've seen through your little game.
What little game?
Your little schemes.
What are you talking about?
Right. When I need you, I'll send for you. All you have to do, if you're not happy, is leave with your sister.
What's the matter with her?
Nothing.
No, I heard you arguing.
No. Don't worry.
Was it about the mushrooms?
No.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Is there a problem?
No.
What?
It's just... I think it's just the fact of being here. Everything's just jumbled up in my head. Don't you find? I mean, all these memories, these...
Are you crying?
No, I'm sorry.
Don't mind, Anne. But you take things too much to heart.
But don't you have doubts?
What about?
The blue house. I don't know. Do you really think it's the best solution?
I can't see any alternative.
I'm thinking what Mom would have thought about it. And I'm getting this feeling that I can see her glaring at me.
She would understand.
I don't think she would.
Yes, she would.
No, she'd be furious. I can picture it very clearly now. Believe me. She'd judge us very harshly. She'd curse us.
What are you talking about?
I know it. I can hear her now.
What's the matter, my little scorchers?
Nothing, Dad.
Is there a problem? Tell me.
No.
No, but I heard you quarreling.
Dad, I promise you everything's going to be fine.
We were just talking, Dad.
Life's too short for arguments.
Yes.
Life's really short, believe me. Come on, man. Wipe your tears, okay? Make up now. All right, my little scorchers.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry to disturb you. Where can I place this?
Leave it there for the minute.
Thank you. Are you sure you don't want to have lunch before you go?
It's nice of you, but
It would make your mother very happy.
Dad,
What?
please.
Well, aren't you going to say something to him?
What about?
How long is this going to go on?
stop it.
What?
What's he talking about? Is there a problem? Is there a problem? Tell me. Is
Something out there. It's fallen out.
What is it?
Must have fallen out of the bouquet.
No!
What is it?
Dad! Dad! Thank you so much. Very nice.
Strong price. Yes.
Really well done.
Yeah, no. Look at He's keen on that. Are you on the show? I'm there. I'm going to
Thank you for Come and join our workshops. We have some workshops. We'll let you know. Yes.